If she had only been ugly.
Well, first of all, it's a treat for me to have this guy here, who I love, who is the #1 personality in Philadelphia. I think if he ran for mayor, he'd win. And I'm not just saying that because he's my friend. Angelo Cataldi, welcome to Los Angeles, my friend.
Dom, it is an honor to be on your webcast, and it is an honor to be in L.A. Having a great time here.
Yeah, you touristed up a little, huh?
A little bit, you know, meeting a few celebs, that kind of thing. And
But you get recognized on the tours.
A couple of people saw because they were from Philly. I'm only recognized in Philly, and even that.
The Tri-County area.
The Tri-County area, right.
But you're originally from Providence.
Originally from Providence, Rhode Island. Grew up there. Lived my first 32 years of my life there.
And you went to Columbia?
Went to Columbia University in 1976.
So we got that in common.
Yeah, we have that Ivy League background.
Ivy League. I didn't go to Penn, but I lived in the neighborhood.
Well, that's close enough.
I went to the gym.
You see, that's how it rubbed off.
Yeah. Angie, I got to tell you, there's very few shows. You're right at the top. I mean, I work all over the world, and I don't want to get sappy with you right away, but your show is most fun, and I feel part of the family. And it just, you know, it's a big part of my life. Like I told you, when I go to Philly, hey, we saw you, we watched you on Ange. Is Al really that grouchy? Like it's always.
Well, the fact is, Dom, that we have a few comics that call it, but there's only one Dom Irrera. And you're so far above the rest of them, and your ability to be funny, not just when you're on a stage like we are right here at the Laugh Factory, but wherever you are. No, Dom, I've had guys, comics on our show that where I would say, so what's it like to be here visiting Philadelphia? And I don't talk for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He lapses into 10 minutes of his bit, of his material. And it's like, no, that's not what we're doing here. We're trying to introduce you to our city so they want to come out and see your stuff.
Right. They don't want to see it here, so then they can prepare themselves to see it that night.
Exactly. And a lot of them will go that night and do the same bit they just did on the show. That's not the way it works.
No. Now, without you on that show, I love those people. You know I do.
Yeah.
It's a rudderless ship.
Well, it's not a rudderless ship.
Look,
everybody has a role.
That's the truth. First of all, you know I think they're excellent. I think Al is right there. They got this Al Morgani's on there from NHL hockey.
Right.
Rhea Hughes, who also does some TV stuff and who's great.
We now have Hollis Thomas, a former Eagle nose tackle. We have Keith Jones, great hocky player.
Keith's a great
on
guy.
NBC doing hockey.
Yeah.
And we have Ben Davis, who is working at Comcast Sports Town. He's a baseball guy.
And what happened to you, Douglas?
Douglas ended up going to ESPN for a while. He had a
He was big on the network. Did he?
An assault charge after him, but ultimately he parted ways with ESPN.
Yeah.
I wish nothing but the best for him. He's a great, great guy.
Yeah, he's a monster, too.
He's really scary.
He's scary.
So I would never say anything negative even if I was thinking it, but I'm not thinking it.
I could understand prison rape. Seriously, when I see you, Douglas, because if he wanted one of us, might as well just try it. Just put your head somewhere else.
He's a very strong man, and you don't want to make him mad.
Who did he beat up?
It was an incident that happened when he was in Bristol, Connecticut. For what I understand, Bristol, Connecticut has sent a lot of people over the deep end.
Oh, yeah?
It's a very boring town.
Well, they're out here now, too, you know.
ESPN's out here also? Well, maybe
they do
Sports
Center. They do Sports Center live from L.A., and I don't know if you know, but I know Bristol's their home.
Yeah.
How that happened, I have no idea.
I don't either, but it shouldn't have.
Now, did you used to work with Stephen A. Smith?
Stephen A. Smith was a contributor on our show. He was a columnist in Philadelphia, covering primarily the NBA, but some other stuff too. It was a regular contributor to our show, and his bombast, the way he could make these sweeping proclamations about what was going to happen was perfect for talk radio because people react, and he would have a lot of followers that loved him, and he have a lot of people that wanted to strangle him. But
he's very
perfect.
bright, and sometimes he actually throws in words that I don't think he knows the meaning of.
Well, but nobody wants to look.
Nobody wants to look him up.
You know, he might know the meaning. That's
he
the
might,
problem.
but and he also like everything's about race with him, which is comical to a point where sometimes people have to know that like there's no great conspiracy against anybody. You know, it's because I'm this. No, it's because.
But with Stephen, it's not that he sees things in racial terms. I think with Stephen A. Smith, it's that he sees his audience and is playing to that audience. So I think if he thinks that they see him as a voice of the black athlete, then that's what he's going to play. But he's actually amazing now. He's a great guy. I talk to him all the time off the air.
Oh, do you?
He's a fantastic guy, but you're right. One of the brightest guys in the business.
I liked the way he stuck up for Iverson.
Oh,
You know?
why do you think he did that? Because Iverson was his best sources in the time. When Steven was great at reporting the beat of the Philadelphia 76ers, and Iverson was the people that told him what was going on. Iverson was great with that. That's why you always take care of your source.
Remember when Rhea Hughes and I had that feud about Iverson, and I said that Stephon Marbury was better than him?
Yeah, you did it.
I was wrong. I was wrong.
You were wrong now? You're on the record with that?
Yeah, I was wrong. In the
Took
end,
you long enough.
well, I mean, who do you think was better, Iverson, Isaiah Thomas, or Steve Nash?
Iverson, because Iverson was a virtuoso.
Yeah, he could do
Iverson played his position without the need to have complementary pieces.
Think he was better than Isaiah?
Yes. But you see, I'm tainted now because Isaiah is one of the worst NBA executives that ever lived.
Terrible.
And it's hard for me to separate the great player that he was from the horrible executive that he is. But I'm gonna go home team on that, and I'm gonna say Iverson, because Iverson is one of the most amazing and entertaining players I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's a freak. His
Phenomenal.
quickness is everything. What do you think about Phil Jackson being hired?
That's fascinating to me because it looks to me like he just can't leave basketball. He keeps trying to, and he keeps getting pulled back.
They bring me back,
but
like the Godfather.
I think he has made a pact with the devil because the guy running that franchise, Jim Dolan, is one of the most miserable people in professional sports now or ever, and I think he will drive Phil Jackson insane.
here's the thing with that. First of all, he had 4 of the greatest players. He had 3 unstoppable players.
Yep.
Shaq, Kobe, and Michael Jordan.
Right.
We'll see what a wizard he is now.
He won't be a wizard. He's not a coach either now, though.
I don't even know what he's going to do as president.
I think he's going to collect 5 checks worth about $12 million apiece, and he's going to walk away and finally be done. He's not going to be able to do much.
He needs the
with that
attention,
thing.
I think.
That must be what it is. You know, there's so many people that just can't leave the light. The minute they do, they want to get back in.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he's one of them.
Well, look at Favre.
Oh, Favre is a perfect example.
He kept coming back and back.
Even now.
Nobody even asked him to retire.
No. And even now, if you're interested in seeing his penis, it's still all over the internet.
I've seen it. I've been there.
You've seen it?
I've been in the lockers.
See, that's troubling to me that you've seen that already.
I didn't look directly at it. I looked in the area because his eyes were up here. What is that with sending a picture?
Could you tell me, could you explain that to me?
No, I can't explain it. Some of the comedians here, they were showing each other pictures of their dicks upstairs.
They were?
Yeah.
All right, now see.
They do selfies, but of their dick, and they show it out.
If I ever do that, it will actually not be mine. I'll find one far more impressive.
Mine will be multicolored, like the Rainbow Coalition. Just a little bit for everybody. Wasn't that girl hot I was with last night?
Oh, wow. She was very impressive. Quite a bit younger than you also.
Well, what am I going to do?
What do you mean?
Well, who am I going to meet my age?
I don't know.
You know, I have a joke about that.
You have a joke about people your age?
No, I have a joke. The joke is, a woman said, "Why don't you go out with women your own age?" I go, "Because they're dead."
I think they're actually just dead to you.
Well, no,
I think they're still
not
alive, but you don't like wrinkles or sags.
But I've been programmed. I've been programmed. You know, like we all are programmed. You have, Gail, your wife is one of the most wonderful, coolest, beautiful people.
True.
Not because she's here,
right?
And she's texting away, like just totally couldn't give a fuck about what we're saying. But what happened to me is like, I was programmed to like a certain, and because of being a comedian, I could get women way out of my league.
Right.
And I blew my chance with Sophie.
Yeah.
But I was programmed to like girls like Sophie, but Sophie was also very smart and funny. So now I'm looking for a girl who looks like Sophie, but she has to be damaged to like me. See what I mean? She has to have like a broken wing in life. Something had to happen to her. So that's based. So if
that
you're out
narrowed
there,
the field. That was the field.
They're out there.
But the other thing is, too, that you're a comic. And comics are going to get a lot of women anyway, right?
We get the ones that are right after the rock star level.
Right after them?
Just a little bit below.
Right below that.
But hot.
It's not terrible.
No. Well, for me, with my big, fat, bloated head. Now, you work out because you stay slim.
I work out. I don't stay slim.
Well, you're slim compared to me. Look at your head.
Well, I mean,
you got a normal head. I got a balloon head.
The thing is, I just passed my 63rd birthday, and now the clock is ticking louder than ever. So I do try to stay in some kind of shape.
See, I don't know. We got to talk about that, Ange, because
It's bad, Dom. It's bad.
Well, here's the thing. You got to do something else.
Yeah.
I mean, as your friend, somebody who loves you,
Yeah.
you're too vibrant, you're too alive. If you retire
Yeah.
and don't do something else, you'll go out of your fucking mind.
Well, that's why I'm in LA. I'm looking to see if I could adopt this vibe. Be a little more laid back.
You don't golf, right?
I don't do anything else. I really am just a sports guy.
Yeah.
Who rips into lots of athletes and has a fun time doing it, and has a lot of listeners. And that's basically it. But when I found out when I started it 25 years ago, it wasn't my life. It was a real small part of it. It was a job.
You were just meeting.
It's probably what you did with what a lot of comics do. The more you have this ambition to be good at it and to succeed at it, the more of yourself you put into it, and pretty soon your whole self is in it, and there's not much left beyond it. And that's kind of where I took it over the course of 25 years. When I'm not on the air, I'm thinking of what I'm going to say when I'm on the air.
But that's what I'm saying. A cold turkey in that.
Right.
I'm not a doctor.
Right.
I'm not a professional, even though I may seem as intelligent as one. But I can't imagine you just cold turkeying off of it. I mean,
no, I don't. I have to though, because
can't
once
you
you're
get like
doing it every day like that.
Yeah, but suppose you had like a commentary show on Channel 5 or Channel 6 or something. You couldn't do that? Where you could rant.
No, honestly, the fact is that no, I don't think I could. I'm a writer. I was born a writer. I was a newspaper
You wrote
guy.
for the Inquirer?
I wrote for the Philadelphia Inquirer. I covered the Philadelphia Eagles. Before that, I covered the Philadelphia Flyers. Before that, I covered news in my hometown in Providence. And the one thing I think I'll end up doing when I'm done talking into a microphone is writing. I think I may end up doing probably the biography.
Like writing a book, or
I'm thinking of ghostwriting.
You have a great book inside of you with your experiences.
I would like to write your book. I don't want to write my book. You have a great book inside of you too.
But I read about the different stuff because I never really looked at your bio.
You never did.
Well, why would I? I mean, I just always knew you as
Yeah.
the guy. I mean, to me, like you've helped me my career in Philly incredibly.
Not as much as you've helped me.
No.
No, let me tell you.
Well, I sold some of the jewelry and the cars.
You sold some jewelry. You sold some canned soup with steak in it.
Steak in a can.
You've done impromptu. You've been on many times. You are a regular on our pre-Thanksgiving show from the airport.
I love that show.
And frankly, people, I don't have to look at the numbers. When Dom Irrera is not, I know there are a lot more people listening that would at any other time. Because first of all, you're Philadelphia. Second of all, you're a major success. And third, and most importantly, you're hilarious. That's all it takes.
And you fell in love with the city, right?
I totally love the city.
Yeah, me too. I mean, if I hear one more friggin' time about the snowball incident, let it go. Let it go. Yeah, well, they threw, like you never heard of, they threw snowballs at Santa Claus at the vet. I go, first of all, it wasn't even the vet. It was Franklin Field.
That's
you don't even know your history.
Nope.
And then and it was a bogus Santa Claus, and let it go.
Dom, I got one attached to me for the rest of my life. Boo and Donovan McNabb at the draft, right?
Oh, because you wanted Ricky Williams.
Well, yeah, the real story. I'll tell you the real story. The mayor of the city, Ed Rendell, comes to us, comes on the air. He says, listen, I do not want this Donovan McNabb from Syracuse.
Yeah.
I want Ricky Williams. I'm in love with that kid. That kid's going to be the greatest runner since Jim Brown. So he said, Mayor, we'll kiss his ass a little bit. So we'll get behind you on this and we'll make it work.
Right.
We get the NFL to issue us 30 tickets to go to the draft.
Oh, boy.
We rent a bus, right? We call ourselves the 30-30, the 30 rattiest, nastiest Philadelphia sports fan. We get in the bus. We only have 29. Well, you can't be the 30-29.
Yeah.
There's a homeless guy standing on the corner, Doc.
Hey, you want to go on a bus ride?
That's exactly what we did. We went, hey, you look hungry. You look thirsty. We got beer and sandwiches. You want to come with us to New York? Absolutely. and that's how we got our 30th guy.
Oh,
we went
funny.
there. We were all waiting for Ricky Williams' name to be announced. It was the second pick of the draft in 1999. They named Donovan McNabb, and we booed our asses off.
Look,
And
Ricky.
he never forgave us.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people that loved him never forgave us either.
Well, he was a little paranoid.
That was the biggest problem with him. But it became Dom has become the thing that I will carry to my grave.
Well, it's negatively or positively?
Well, I don't. It was a great radio promotion.
Oh, great radio. I mean, to me, Ricky Williams was the reason the Cowboys won championships.
Well, yeah, right.
Because the trade.
The trade, but no, it was we were wrong, right? But I don't care.
Well, you didn't know he was going to be a weed
The
head.
fact is, even though McNabb was a way better player than Ricky Williams, he was also a horse's ass. He was also an unbelievably irritating sports figure.
Oh, he's terrible on
Oh,
ESPN.
he's awful now. And people are starting to see that part of the personality that only Philadelphia saw.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that kind of lock on to Philadelphia, and you carry them wherever you go with you.
Yeah.
But you know what, Dom? And this is true of a guy like you who grew up there. At some point, Philadelphians have to embrace it and say, yes,
Yeah.
you know what? We are the toughest city in sports in America. Screw you. And if they just do that,
Yeah.
it's more fun.
Well, that's why they liked characters. And like, I mean, it's so easy to say, but Barkley was perfect for Philly.
Perfect for Philly.
And, you know, I love Charles, but, I mean, he was perfect for the city.
Perfect.
When he threw the guy through the window.
Oh, perfect.
And he said to me one night, I went to see him in a game in Phoenix, me and Soap, and they were taunting him about Shaquille O'Neal. The newspaper guys, and he said, what should I say? Like as if I'm going to give him this sagacious advice. I said, don't answer it.
Yeah.
Don't answer. Just say he's great. You're great. You know,
If you answer it, that's what they want.
if you answer, I mean, they're not going to. What they wonder was he's not going to come into my house and rule.
You're
This
right.
is-
Barkley is the ideal. Because
Yeah.
you know what? He would give it right back to you.
They like that, and they like Reggie White and guys
Reggie
like.
White was so good. You
Yeah,
know, that's what
so
was great
good.
about him. He's just so powerful and rugged and
Yeah.
strong. They like a guy that'll get dirty and that will play dirty.
Well, that's why they like Andre Waters so much.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, but if you get a guy who's not running hard or not playing all out, they're never going to wrap their arms
Well,
around him.
McNabb had the thing about him throwing up in the Super Bowl.
Well, that's the thing. Now, he once played with a broken ankle. They loved him then. Then he vomited on the field in the Super Bowl of 2005, which he has never admitted. But now I have 5 documents from teammates
Really?
stating I'm actually getting to sign affidavits because it's time we go to court with this thing.
It's time we put an end to this bullshit.
Yes, exactly. It's
Angelo Cataldi will do it.
time we go to war on this issue. But the fact is that he wouldn't even admit it. But there's the people that in our city of Philadelphia are the people that get their uniform dirty and look you in the eye and maybe spit in it once in a while too. That's
Yeah.
what they love. They love
Well,
that.
you know, I have a friend that went to the World Series. And they were playing Tampa Bay
Yeah.
with the Cowbells.
Oh, yeah.
The guy had 2 little girls with balloons, and my friend had his sons with him.
Yep.
And the guy in front of him goes, I tell you what, you hit the cowbell again, I'm going to shove it up your fucking ass. Right?
Whoa.
And the kids are looking at him like, Daddy, what do you say to that?
You-
I mean, that's a Philly extreme fan.
That's extreme. And there's
But-
a lot of that. And that's too far.
Yeah.
Right? But if you say to the guy who's wearing the uniform or the jersey of the other team, you know, you're an a-hole, right? So what?
Yeah.
In our eyes, he is.
Yeah, I just think there's a limit to what fans, as far as distance, can say to people. Then it gets, when that kid's smart, when in the stands,
Right.
the guy says something to him, I think I would have pushed the guy too.
Yeah. I get it. You can't use racial stuff.
Well,
You
I don't
can't
think
use family stuff.
I don't think they did. I think they said they thought he did at first,
Yeah.
but he called him a piece of crap.
Right.
He didn't say anything. It was
Piece of crap
indiscriminate.
you should let fly by. You should let that go.
Yeah, but that guy's been, what was it? Texas Tech? I forget. Who was he rooting for? Anyway,
Yeah.
Oklahoma State is smart, and whoever the guy was, he's the regular there.
Right.
And plus, you look at the guy; he's like 500 pounds, so it's his whole life. He's an idiot.
But Don, here's the thing. You probably would give better advice on that than anybody in the world because you deal with hecklers, right?
I don't get that many, Inch.
You don't.
I don't get that many because I'm pretty fast.
Yeah.
So I don't leave many openings,
That's true.
So they have to, like, there was a lady the other night, she was trying to heckle, and she was not, she kept saying it was her 50th birthday, and she said, I'm from Missouri, show me. You know, and like it was like there was no substance. I don't know what it was.
Not a heckle.
I said, show you what? Listen to the audience. What the fuck do I got to show you? Happy birthday. Leave me alone. You know. But yeah, I mean, you were telling me something which I thought was fascinating about how negativity is part of the fun of the show. And if everything's going, because I remember coming in there one time and everything was going great, you go, it's fucking boring.
Yeah, it is. The fact is that it's like in a way there's a correlation between doing sports talk radio in Philadelphia and being a comic. If you came on and everything was beautiful and you weren't complaining about your relatives or what's going on, what do you got? The dynamic is the negative, right?
I know.
A guy blew a game. Oh, we're going after him the next day. That makes it more fun than if they won 3-1 to pitch a dice game. Ho hum. You know, it's more fun when there's a negative dynamic to work on.
Yeah, I was in Indianapolis once, and this woman said to me, "You're mean." And I said, "Well, I'm not. My intent is not to be mean. My intent is to be funny." I said, "Listen to the audience. They're laughing." I said, "You think they're going to walk out of here and I'm going to be nice?" They go, "What do you think about the comedian?" "Well, it wasn't funny, but what a nice guy." I don't know. He should do something else for a living. But
he should be a priest.
He should be. Well, I don't know about that.
He should be a counselor.
A counselor.
He should help people. It's not how you entertain. Doesn't work.
Yeah, you're right. You do have to draw from negativity, and well, you got a great thing in Philly because there's always somebody that sucks.
Well, that's the
thing. You could have three out of the 4 teams could be good. I mean, the Sixers right now. Do you think they're throwing it?
In their own way, they are. All right, they have
by getting rid of the good players.
They have lost 21 consecutive games.
Yeah.
The franchise record. They're 3 away from tying the NBA record.
This is on in about a month, so they may have taken it.
They had lost, I would say, 8 or 10 in a row when the trade deadline hit, and they got rid of 2 of the 4 professionals that were still on their roster. Now, that would indicate to you, since all they got for them was second-round draft picks, which aren't really valuable, that they were going out of their way to make sure their team would be even worse for the second half of the year. And now it is atrocious. And so they did tank. In a way, they did. They made sure they'd lose enough games so they can get a top draft pick and maybe get a kid named Andrew Wiggins from Kansas, who they're still after.
I was watching last night at the end of the game. They played Indiana. And you could see Indiana felt bad for them because they were hugging them like they won the championship.
Yeah, no.
The guys rubbing the head. And then we got
playing a college team.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a pro team against a college team. Indiana played them a couple of times, and the scores were fairly close. That was like mercy. It was like, all right, we'll only play 70%, so it's somewhat of a game. We're not going to lose to you guys, but we'll just show you a little bit. But it's tanking.
It's really sad when somebody feels bad for you.
I know it. It's worse that way.
It's a pathetic thing, and
it's like in your business getting a sympathy laugh.
Yeah, you know? Or applause break.
Break. You don't like an applause break.
Well, I think you can milk them. You know, it's like what happens is some guy told me, his name was John Mendoza, and he was an old friend from New York. He used to do the Tonight Show pretty regularly, and he said what he would do is hold, and sooner or later they would applaud because he held.
Really?
Yeah, because they're thinking, well, he must have said something really wise, brilliant, but he just held there. I can't do that.
I've seen comics do something. I'm always fascinated by it. Comic will have a little singing ability, which, by the way, you have a lot of singing ability, but I've never seen you do this. They'll break into song, and they'll end with a crescendo, which is their moment to get a big applause in the middle of the act.
Yeah, yeah.
You've seen this, right?
Yeah.
It's so shameless.
Well, I don't know if I told you this last night at dinner, but I got a standing ovation on the first show last week in Denver.
Really?
And I didn't deserve it, right?
No.
I really didn't. And I said to the audience, and it was so spontaneous, I went, why? And I meant it. Why? I've had better sets than this. Now, that's not, whatever we did, we connected. But I'm telling you, I was average. Yeah. I really was. I was average. I was okay. I wasn't, but I certainly wasn't a standing ovation great. You know.
So you know when you actually earned it.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, I mean, I know if there's something where it's clicking and all the improvs are working, and then you know. Like the night it was one of my favorite shows ever, and it was watching you laugh that made me laugh. Was when the Pope passed away.
Oh, that's the all-timer.
And
that was
just
the most dangerous sequence I've ever seen in a comedy act.
and doing 15 minutes on how could it happen? He looks so good.
But Dom,
And,
he had died like a day before.
I know.
And you came out and you go, let me work on some. Was that all improv?
Yeah, of course. But I mean, first of all, if the Pope's not in heaven, none of us have a chance.
No, I realize.
So if there's a heaven, the Pope better be there.
But some of the stuff, and you found a way to stay just on the right side of it, right?
Yeah.
But you were playing right on the edge.
I remember you sitting on the aisle, like bending over, laughing, and that was.
I was dying.
That's like like come on, fight him.
No, but it started with me going, no, Dom, don't go there.
Oh,
don't
right.
do that.
Right.
You're not going to do that. You're going to blow this thing up. They're going to be mad. There's Catholics in the audience. It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
It was TLA, right?
TLA. Exactly.
So I was reading. I told you it's so fun to look at your bio after all the years we worked together, and the Wing Bowl.
Oh, God.
You got to tell the audience something about the Wing Bowl because it is a phenomenon.
It's an amazing phenomenon. It's starting to get the kind of stature of a Mardi Gras or in our own city, Mummers Parade.
The popularity is unbelievable.
It's 30 men, occasionally a woman. Normally the guys are really fat and out of shape, and they build their own parade floats. They qualify to eat chicken wings for 30 minutes in the main arena, Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. We sell out. This year we sold out 20,000 tickets in less than an hour. 20,000 tickets in less than an hour to see a bunch of fat guys parade in as characters they've created. Some guy will come in as, instead of Batman, Fat Man, and that kind of stuff. And they'll all come in, and they're surrounded by really provocative and tacky females.
Do they have doctors on?
There are a couple of doctors.
I would think they would need them just in case.
No, someone will eventually die anyway.
I mean, they defibrillator. They got to have everything.
They have all that stuff because a lot of these guys may die just walking around the arena to get to the stage. And then we got all these girls that count the chicken wings, and somebody ends up winning $25,000, and there's 2 cars and 2 motorcycles this year, and it's just and all the women in the audience.
But it's so big because, like, what I've you tell me about all the women in the audience. What I didn't mean to interrupt.
They take the tops off.
Oh, I know you were telling me that. Yeah.
Even middle-aged females that you would not believe. This year, for the first time, this is our 22nd.
What is that supposed to express?
We don't know. We think it's the spirit of the moment that everyone there.
I got to show somebody my tits.
No, you know what it is, Dom? That day, everybody wants to do something they're forbidden from doing.
Okay.
So the girls are, basically flashing left and right. Some of them are professional strippers. They know exactly how to do it.
Well, you do have strippers
there,
there, right?
clubs that are represented there.
And then it bleeds over to the afternoon where people go to strip bars, right?
Yeah, it becomes a whole day.
How do they get the license to have alcohol that early?
You may be calling attention to an issue that has
Oh,
slipped
I'm
through
sorry.
the cracks with our licenses and records or whatever they
There's
call
probably
it.
a way you could do it.
But they are given special dispensation. It's almost like a Philadelphia holiday now. It's
really
a Friday
is.
before Super Bowl.
It's
And
incredible.
Dom, we're going to get you there one year, and you're going to see this, and you're going to think
It's the only time I'll ever ask WIP to send a car for me.
Oh, well, you could ask. They're not going to say.
They're not going to send the car?
Not a chance.
Really? They're that cheap?
No, they'll send the car.
Because
Volkswagen.
I would get too much anxiety, like parking. I don't care what the car it is. But
Well, we had Chaz Palminteri this year.
I know.
And Chaz looked at me. He was
Dominic.
up on the stage. And Chaz Palminteri from Bronx Tale looks at me and goes, "You got to be shitting me.
Yeah.
What?
I
This
know.
is what?"
Yeah.
And
It's
he
crazy.
made up our own T-shirts.
And do you
It's on his
realize
bucket
you
list.
realize that your show is staying that hot? When I go to so many cities now where they're syndicated,
Yeah.
they don't even have local radio anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Like you, Philly, you, Boston, Miami. There's a few places that still have it.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Dom. I don't have to tell you, but I'll tell everybody else. It's not really me, and it's not even our show. Philadelphia is different than most other cities.
No.
They're so damn loyal.
Oh yeah,
They're loyal.
but that's their show.
We have a guy doing news, Jim Gardner, on Channel 6, who's dominated ratings for 40 years.
Wow.
40 years.
I know Jim Gardner is.
The guy's been there forever. Is he good? He's great. But he's also like 70. And he's
Yeah.
still, they keep you around.
Yeah.
They're beautiful that way. That's
Well,
why
I
you get a
feel-
long career in
I
Philadelphia.
feel that when I do Helium or the
Oh.
Tropicana, those places.
Are you kidding me? You just have to say the name Dom Irrera in Philadelphia or Atlantic City. Bang, gone. You kidding me? People come and they've seen it before, but it's always different and it's always exciting.
I meet them all over the world, you know, and somebody
Yeah.
would go, "Hey man, you're from originally South Philly and then West Philly." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm from Philly." I go, "Where?" They go, "Downingtown." I go, "Well, technically you're from Downingtown. Literally, you're from Downingtown,
not
but
really Philly.
you want to associate. It's the umbrella of Philly.
The umbrella of Philly.
Yeah.
They want to claim you, though. That's what it's about.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool. Well, you get recognized. I mean, you're a big celebrity in that whole area. It ain't just Philly.
I did
It's-
some TV, though. I mean, it's hard to be recognized when you do it radio all the time, but I
Yeah.
did do some TV, and I was uniformly mediocre. Never above. I think it's this head. If I had a different head, I might have done better.
But this is what. Did you know you'd end up doing this?
No.
You thought you were
I had
going to
no
be a
intention
writer.
to. I thought I was write my whole career,
Yeah.
but I get tired of it, and I'm
Yeah.
looking for a second act, and this thing came just at the right time.
Yeah, yeah. It's perfect. Well, you're perfect for it. My dream was to be a dancer.
Really?
My legs, my feet, I lived through them.
That was it? That's
No, I'm kidding. I never.
Because I'll tell you, people don't know this. I honestly wish you would do a little singing in the act. Because I have heard you sing with a band, and you're a fine singer, and you've never used that part of your skill.
I don't know. I'd just rather leave the singing to the real singers. I mean, I appreciate you playing. I mean, what's ironic about life is that you guys, and the Miami station that I was telling you about, you guys have played my song quite a few times, both of them.
Yeah.
And all these real fucking struggling Skippy Denenberg, real
Yeah.
musicians, they
Good
can't get a
musicians.
break.
No.
And here I am, some goofball comedian getting played to millions of people.
It's very, very, it's, Don, the thing about it is, seeing your act and knowing you, you would never imagine you were also a fine singer. No one would ever think that. But people, the weirdest people could sing. You don't know why that is. You know?
Yeah, yeah. It's
But you're very good there, too. I would love to see it. Or maybe some night, just do show tunes. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
Dom-
just Broadway show tunes.
Dom
Maybe
Irrera
wearing like a little flouncy outfit.
singing. I'd like to sing the entire score of Fiddler on the Roof.
Ah, hold back. the
Blessing on
doors.
your head, mazel tov, mazel tov. Like Grandma Zeidel said, mazel tov, mazel tov.
I told you could sing. I told you.
Look at her. She's still texting. Angelo's supportive wife, Gail, is here.
She's here.
Couldn't care less about us trying to do a show.
Nope.
She's there just waiting, biding her time so she can go on another tour of Hollywood. What about the fact that you're in the Laugh Factory? Does that feel anything? This place where Michael Richards created a new level of racism? Remember, this is all, it was right here.
That's, you know, I until you said that, I didn't realize it.
Oh, yeah.
It's a cool little place, though, because it's the kind of thing, I guarantee you, I mean, you know the history of it more than I do. I guarantee you, a lot of people that worked on this stage that went on to movies and big name, big deals. And here's where we came in here, and there's a bunch of guys waiting outside.
Yeah.
Just get on a list to get
Imagine
a
that.
chance for 3 minutes. And the guy was telling me some of them might be good and a lot of them might be bad.
And the guy who owns the place, he's my manager.
Ah.
And when I knew that I really kind of gave up and just like wanted to have fun, was when I had him as my manager because he has trouble speaking English.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he's from the Middle East. He's,
That's perfect.
He's Israeli. He's Iranian born, Jewish, moved to Israel, then moved here.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
And he's negotiating deals for you?
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's a party. That's fun.
He doesn't, but he's a great guy. And the story always is more and more dramatic. You know, first he was like 16 when he came over here. Now he's like a toddler. he waddled onto the plane, came over, and started a comedy club. But you got I wish you could meet him. He's out of town. But Jamie Masada, you get a kick out of him. Buddy, I love you, buddy.
I get you possibly part of the reason you hired him is for the comedic element.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well, you know what? When he was first my co-host on here,
Oh, yeah?
and most people didn't like him, and poor Mexicans get blamed for so much stuff they didn't do. They would go, Dom, we really like you on your podcast, but you got to lose the little Mexican. He's not even Mexican. But he won't do the show anymore. And some guys like Bill Burr was telling me about loves doing it with him just to bust his balls because he rejected Bill Burr.
Oh,
Bill
he
Burr
did?
moved back to New York.
He rejected Bill Burr?
Yeah, he didn't know. He think he was funny enough. Can you imagine? He's one of the greatest comedians, and so I mean, he's sitting there and he's judging these guys. You see them waiting outside. It's their whole life.
Yeah,
they get 3 minutes, and you know who they perform in front of? the comedians that are going to go on after them. So why would they be a good audience? Oh, you're great. You know, it's like
wow, he's way better than me.
Yeah,
sign him up.
Yeah. So it's just a crazy system.
It's got to be one of the toughest rackets.
Anything's tough to get to a certain level. You know, I mean, anything that's desirable, don't you think?
Well, here's the thing. You just said to me, I can't just quit cold turkey. Could you?
No.
Not a
but
chance,
I have no
right?
intention of, I mean, if I have to be wheeled out in a gurney, if I have to be put in a hammock, just my head talking.
And it's their reaction, right? Isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know what's so fun about it? It's like, look at this. We're on stage here. There's the seats right there.
Yeah.
I had 4 20-year-old girls sitting there.
No.
UCLA students, beautiful girls, fun, nice. And I said, now I'm talking to you, and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
You can leave. I said, but when would I have a chance? Look at me. Look at you. When would I have a chance to talk to you? But now. Right now, you're mine, you bitches. You know, it's like, and they're
look
laughing.
at you like, you're right. I can't believe this happened.
Yeah, because they know that there's a big element of truth. I said, if I ever came up to you in a bar,
Right.
you go, hey, Pops, get lost, will you?
Yeah.
Before we get security. If I just said hello to them, who the fuck you saying hello to? But in here, you got some power.
That's it. You know, it's a unique situation. You must have used it when you were a kid, right? The sense of humor to impress a hot little thing, right?
Well, yeah, that's what you get
That's
it
how
for.
you do it.
It was all about getting girls.
That's all it
The whole
ever is.
thing was to press, to get. I didn't think of myself about, gee, I got to make a living and save money for my, retirement days. I was thinking, if I'm not going to be the star quarterback,
Right.
I want to be the funniest guy.
Right.
I wasn't going to be the star quarterback, so.
That's it.
And the funny thing is, like, I worked at River Cafe in Brooklyn, parking cars. You know that place? Right under
No.
the Brooklyn Bridge.
Never heard of it.
It's very a little expensive, especially, I don't know if you'd want to
What's
go there.
expensive?
It's 5-star expensive.
Oh, not going to happen.
I mean, nothing. I mean, the hit you guys put on me last night was incredible.
Wow, I reached.
That hurt.
I reached for the.
You didn't reach. You didn't even budge.
reached.
Gail put her card out.
All right, she put her card up, but
I
that was with
graciously-
I nodded at her.
And she didn't argue at all. Like, I did the fake, are you sure? And
Yeah.
she went, yeah, you're right, I'll take it back.
Well, no, that's not exactly what
No,
happened.
it's
at all.
not exactly.
It's not exactly.
She actually
what
wanted
happened.
a treat, and I
Yeah,
appreciate
she
it.
very much did. I didn't want it to, but she did anyway.
Were you upset that there were no free meatballs, appetizers?
Honestly, Dom, the thing that upset me the most at that dinner was you must have had a coupon or some 2 for the price of 1. There had to be some
2
deal
for-
you could have utilized. The fact that you paid retail,
I
right?
know, yeah.
And from what I could see, provided a handsome tip, despite it was against my religion.
Well, so what do you think? I forget what the bill was. I was going to ask you what you would have tipped. That was so
you
funny.
asked the girl that was with you.
No, I just made her add it because she's a waitress.
All right, I'm at a hotel, which, by the way, I may be leaving. I'm having some trouble.
Yeah, what's
with.
going on?
I don't know. They're just.
I can't believe you would have trouble. It's not like you.
Yeah, that's what my wife.
It's not like you to complain about something.
But the hotel, when you go to the
Alfie's,
restaurant,
the Alfie's night.
Dom, this is great. I've never seen this. You go to the restaurant at the hotel, and at the bottom it computes 15%, 18%.
Oh, yeah, I've seen them do that.
20%. So that you don't have to do any of the work.
have, like,
but
short
make sure
arms.
you give them the money.
Right.
Right. So I mean, that's a real. They're really kind of nudging you to make sure. You
But
give
that's
them
for foreigners, supposedly.
that is not for foreigners.
It is. It's for people that are not used to tipping. Excuse me. Part of our culture is tipping. And Gail, did you ever work as a waitress? You did. You know the thing, the game, and it's just part. I mean, and these people hate it. Like the Australians and the Brits, and they come over here and
They don't like the tipping.
I was in Scotland, and a friend of mine, Rich Hall. Remember Rich Hall?
Oh yeah, very
He
much.
said something about don't encourage them. Don't stop tipping. You're going to ruin it for the rest of us. And he was an American.
Wow.
And it was his girlfriend that
He was Saturday
tipping.
Night Live for a while.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The Sniglets.
Where did he go? What happened in Rich Hall? He was good.
He
I
got
really
very
liked
good.
him.
He got tired of the U.S. competition, I think, and
So he's working
He's
overseas.
a big star in Britain and Australia and
Wow.
stuff. We work together at the Kilkenny Comedy Festival every year.
How about that? I haven't seen him. I can still picture him, but I haven't seen him for years. It's good comic.
Well, you know who's good? I'll tell you, and it's so funny because of the Philly pride.
Right.
Kevin Hart,
Oh, we had him
Terrific.
on our show recently. He's great.
great kid too.
But you know what? He's going to be a movie star.
Yeah.
at 5'4".
Isn't that amazing? What are the odds?
No, we had him on. And I said,
When you're
Kevin,
born 5'4",
Kevin, how do you have a really intense sex seed when you're 5'4"? And he says, not even hesitating, we're lying down. Nobody could tell.
he's right.
But he's going to be big. He's the next big comedy guy. Really,
I think
he's already there.
He's exploding with the movies, and he's terrific.
Oh, he is.
He came
great.
up to me at the Improv, such a warm kid.
Yes.
And I got to say that I take some Philadelphia pride in him being that good. You know,
here's the thing, Dom. He also, unlike yourself, has really given back to the community beautifully.
Yeah.
He's given kids computers and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't like the community.
No, that's
and
what
I would take from them more than give. I'm like you. I suck from the community.
That's it. Yeah, I know. Well, we had him on. He said, "Kevin, back off on that stuff.
Yeah, it
You're
makes
making the
us
rest of us look bad."
So he did come in. That's good.
He was great. He's really a good guy. You're right. And
Yeah.
he deserves all the success he's having. He really does. He's great talent. But do you ever lose it? Because really, you have to have full control the whole time you're up there.
Me?
Yeah.
I lost it one time, and I'll never forget it because my mother and my sister were in the back. It was a place called the Comedy Factory Outlet in Philadelphia on Bank Street. And some guy who was sitting there, he was eating popcorn, and he threw a piece of popcorn right at me. Right? Just like he went like this. He's eating. All right, and I had the mic stand, and I went, "You motherfucker!" And I tried to hit him.
Really?
I would have killed him, man. You know how
Yeah.
heavy these mic stands are.
Oh yeah.
And luckily, and I hear my mother going, "No, Dom," you know. And anyway, I missed him luckily, and I go, "That's why they call it comedy, whatever." And went back to
God.
yeah. That was the only
But
time.
that's the one thing you have to completely contain that, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't usually have any hostile times, and
See, but
know.
that's the thing with radio. We have to be hostile without using those words.
right.
That's the key. That takes a while because you know that when you lose your temper, you'll say whatever you can.
Yeah.
We're having a sports argument. You lose your temper. The guy says something that drives you crazy.
I know.
But you got to know to rein it in enough to never use those words because those words can get you fired.
Yeah, I mean, certain discussions. First of all, you can't prove any of them. I mean, like here's a good thing about sports.
Right.
You can, like you can't change the past.
No.
Like the Dolphins were undefeated.
Right.
They will always be undefeated.
That was the greatest team ever.
The only thing that you can do is have more games and be undefeated at the end. That's the only. Other than that,
Right.
like Marciano never lost a fight.
Right.
But people say Ali's the greatest, but he's not statistically the greatest.
No.
So but people can argue that because they can think that's the great thing about sports.
And you know what? It doesn't really matter.
No, of
When
course
it's all over, it's not about who's got the biggest nuclear bomb. It's about who is the best player.
Right.
And yet, I'll tell you right now, Will Chamberlain was the greatest basketball player to ever live. Muhammad Ali was the greatest fighter to ever live.
But he lost.
I fully
Marciano
believe
never
it.
lost.
All right, now you want to hear the truth about Marciano, or don't you? Because
I'm ready.
he happened to have
You can't
bonds.
handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
I can
Because
handle
I
it.
almost got run out of Providence.
Oh no!
Because I found out
He was-
when I was a boxing writer in Providence that one of his fights was fixed. And I
you
wrote,
don't think the Ali Liston fight was fixed?
it was not
The
fixed.
second one,
None of them.
Angelo. First of all, I know from insider information because I was 2
You
years
don't
old.
have
I
insider
was 4 years
information.
old. I was in the
Right.
group that bought Liston. You know what Angelo Dundee told me?
Well,
Liston was the baddest motherfucker of all of them.
he was scary.
He said he could kill. I said, who would win in just a fight? Like Ali, Foreman, any of these guys. Joe Frazier. He goes, Liston. They were all afraid of Liston. It's a
Well,
great-
that if you know for a fact that was fixed, you should write that up and become a hero because it can't be proven.
I'm not going to take
Mine-
anything away from Ali.
Mine was proven. Do you understand?
How was it proven?
I found the people that were associated with the fix of the fight, and I wrote about it in the Providence Journal Bulletin in 1981, 80. He fought a guy named Tiger Ted Lowry, and Tiger Ted Lowry was bought. Tiger Ted Lowry was winning the fight, and he decided that he wasn't going to fix it. He was going to beat Rocky Marciano. And there was a death threat right between rounds, and he had no choice but to go down. And I corroborated it with 5 or 6 different people.
There are very few things that make me prouder to be Italian than
Well,
that story.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
It did not go over nearly as well in the Italian population of Providence, Rhode Island.
What's that street? Federal Street?
Is it
Federal?
Federal Hill.
Federal Hill.
And to say that they considered me the all-time turncoat for
wow.
sullying the memory
You're
of
not
the
really
great
Italian.
rock-
You're dead to me.
That's more than once.
Wow.
More than once. But you know what? It happened.
Stockton, Mass. Where was he from?
He
Brockton.
was from Brockton, Massachusetts. Wow.
Well,
Old days.
Yeah, I've had we've had these arguments ad infinitum.
Yeah.
I told you, and the one about the 10 best quarterbacks, and me and Florentine was, we think Marino is in the top 10,
He is in the top 10.
and he was saying that Bradshaw was better than Marino.
No.
And I said
He's
Bradshaw
wrong.
had better teams. It's 22
Right.
guys.
Florentine's incorrect. You're
No,
correct.
Florentine would agree with me. The other guy, his name is, I shouldn't even disgrace my show with his name.
You shouldn't.
Bobby Jewell was his name.
Bobby Jewell, you don't know what you're talking about. Stick to comedy.
He's not that good a comedian either.
Bobby, you're not good at anything.
No, he's a good comedian. Bobby, get a job. Well, Angelo, thank you so much for being on here. I got to
Tom,
tell you,
it's an honor.
it's a thrill to have you out here. Gail, you want to come up? Get on camera?
It would actually be a big improvement.
Gail, come on up, please.
She won't do it. Don't even try.
Really?
Camera shy. Even being on stage. Dom, I'm honored to be a friend of yours. I'm honored that you come on my radio show as often as you do. And I see a lot of comedy, and there's nobody like you. No one ever.
Well, if you
like
want to see more, I'll be at Helium in June.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the summer, at the end of the summer, I'll be back at the Tropicana, which is the best casino for me in Atlantic City.
You're awesome.
Thank you, brother. Keep up. Thanks a lot for doing it, man.
Thanks for picking up that tab.
Anytime. It was worth it.
Good. Let's go out again tonight.
I just remember the look on your face. You just stood there like an animal freezes. He didn't budge. He didn't get positive or negative. He let it go. What's $500, huh? Comes in, it goes out. Sometimes I make more than $500 a week. You kidding?
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
Silly money.
500.
Can we talk about your salary next time?
You know what? We're
Part
running
two.
out of time here.
Part two. Thanks, Ange. Angelo Cataldi.
Thank you,
You
Dom.
have a Twitter account?
No, I don't have any of that.
Well, follow me at Dom
Follow
Irrera.
Dom. He'll tell you if I'm doing anything.
Thanks for being on the show, man. It's a
Thanks,
classic.
Dom.